Hello, entrepreneurs. My name is Bimal Shah. I'm on a mission to make pioneers out of entrepreneurs by helping you achieve your 3 year goal in 1 year that's tied to your 25-year vision and 5 year moonshot. I do it through weekly sprints and 90-day leaps. This is the Pioneers Academy podcast, and I'm on a mission to make a million pioneers. And I thought this podcast channel will help you achieve your 3 year goal and jump to the next level. I'm going to be showing lots of training and lots of great episodes, so join on this podcast and get all the training and resources you need to achieve your 3 year goal in 1 year and make yourself a pioneer. I wrote 13 books, Becoming a Pioneer, and you can get all those 13 books on Amazon. We're going to give away to every listener who listens on this podcast a $100 Amazon gift card so you can get all the books and learn how to become a pioneer.
Welcome back to the Pioneers Academy podcast, where we make entrepreneurs into pioneers of their industries. I'm your host, April, and today we're diving into a powerful and often overlooked way to unlock growth in your business. And joining me today is Bimal Shah, a business strategist and the mind behind the Pioneers platform. He's helped entrepreneurs uncover hidden opportunities to scale. And today we're talking about something that might surprise you: tariff refunds. Hi, Bimal. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here. Today is a very important and an essential topic, the tariff refunds that are due to everyone because the tariffs were ruled unconstitutional by the Supreme Court in a case where Running Resources Inc. and Trump, and because they were ruled unconstitutional, there's almost $182 billion worth of refund that is due. So very, very essential and important topic. Love to dive into the details. This is money that belongs to you, and we can get it to you in 3 weeks or less. So let's get started, and excited to talk about this.
Thank you, Bimal. And so am I here because this topic is really relevant. So, to start us off, can you explain what tariff refunds really are and why they matter so much to the business owners?
This whole mess that was created with the tariffs, and United States started charging tariffs up and down, and there was all these news going on for years, the shaky markets and everything, and finally Supreme Court ruled in the favor of the public, which they ruled these tariffs unconstitutional because the administration never understood how the tariffs um, you know actually works. So the tariffs, it cannot be charged, and they were ruled unconstitutional. But unfortunately, businesses were paid almost 200 $300 billion in tariffs already, and this money is now a good chunk of that money is now due to back to the US businesses, importers, wholesalers, manufacturers who have paid these tariffs. Now, in during the pandemic, during 2020 and 2021, when they, initiated the employment retention tax credit, if you went to other businesses and other places, it could take you years before you could get your check. We were the one pioneers where we could get the ERC refund in less than a month. So now we are starting the tariff refund where you can get it in 3 weeks. Just 3 weeks, 50% of the money. So imagine, if you paid out half a million, million, 2 million, 5 million, 10 million, whatever that money, and that money that is due to you, instead of waiting for 2 years or 3 years to get that money, or even, 18 months to 2 years, you could get that in 3 weeks. And what's the value of that money? Millions of dollars, $500,000, $250,000 coming to you in 3 weeks right now in the current economic environment. It could be extremely valuable of having the funds now versus 18 months to 2 years later. And that's the advantage we bring to you at zero cost. So people can get this started without having to pay us any fees, and just pass a quick eligibility check and all those things, and you get your funds in 3 weeks.
Appreciate how clearly you explained that to every one of us here, Bimal, because it sounds like it is a huge opportunity that many businesses may have overlooked simply because they didn't fully understand this, what the refund is. So thank you for that. And now, how did you first discover the refunds as a growth opportunity, and what stood out to you the most during that journey?
So the very first thing is, I want to do something that nobody else is doing, and I don't want the businesses to face the issues that they faced during the pandemic, because there were so many businesses, based on my past experience, that waited for years and years, and then never received the money that was due, even on the ERC. And there were many payroll companies who actually took the money that belonged to the businesses and never gave the money that belonged to, the US business. They basically ate up that money that belonged to them, and to their clients. And they said, oh, we're still waiting. And so there was a lot of gray area and a lot of things that, US businesses were basically robbed of the money that belonged to them. So, in this way, what we're doing is we're starting a process where you can get the funds in 3 weeks. So, you don't have to wait for 2 years, 18 months to 3 years, or get into that zone where, you're not getting the true, uh, information or anything, and you're getting stuck, and you're getting put into the wrong direction, or you're getting connected to the wrong people who promise the wrong things. Or here, you would have the money in your bank account in 3 weeks, as long as you provide the right documentation in good order and you meet the qualifications.
It really shows how being curious and, digging a little deeper can uncover opportunities that most people would normally miss. And it is so sad that most of us really experienced this kind of system that they had, because of lack of knowledge about it. And the good thing is you are here for our entrepreneurs to help them, right, Bimal?
Absolutely. So they can get their money, and this money could be extremely, extremely valuable right now. This is not money that you have to pay back. This is money that is due to you because you were forced to pay money that you didn't want to pay, or didn't have to pay, or didn't need to pay. But at time when business was difficult and you had to, manage to pay this, even when business was up and down, or you had no business, and you had to even dip into your personal resources or other resources to make this happen. And now this money can come back to you in 3 weeks. So very, very, very important.
Exactly. Very, very important. And Bimal, for someone listening right now, what kinds of businesses are most likely sitting on unclaimed tariff refunds without them realizing it?
So any business that basically imported goods from Canada, China, Mexico, and what they call is the IEEPA tariff country. So there's a whole list. So if you go in the show notes below, you click the link, all the countries, that are eligible that you imported goods from are there. And basically, if you have an importer of record, so, if you're the importer of record, and most businesses like wholesalers, manufacturers, distributors, that import, items from overseas are eligible to receive a refund, because pretty much all goods were ruled unconstitutional. So anything that you paid in tariffs for anything, pretty much anything that you imported, was ruled unconstitutional. So you can get a huge chunk as a refund. And this could be a huge injunction of money, because you don't have to pay back, and this is money that you had paid earlier. Now you're getting as a refund, and to get 50% of it right in your bank account in 3 weeks, with minimal information and documentation that you would need to provide us.
That's really eye-opening because, it means a lot of businesses listening today could really actually qualify and just haven't explored it yet. So this episode is really, really important. So guys, listen to this episode, So Bima, why do you view tariff refunds as a long-term growth strategy instead of just a one-time financial benefit?
Well, one is that if you claim the refund and you got this, you are in the record that you've been, done their due diligence and processed it. So, you are in a better eyesight of many other compliance and also, businesses. The second piece is injunction of money now when there's volatility. So this will give you significant opportunities to look at pivoting or adapting, learning, changing, discovering, improving many areas of your business that you didn't have the choice because there was lack of capital, lack of foresight, lack of direction that you could take. So now with this, you are able to do things that you weren't able to do before, and there is no obligation for you to put this money or pay this money back to anyone. This is money that you can use. So if you do it in with the four leap system and the structure that I have built, you can actually build, a 5 to 10 year sustainable path for your business. So this money could actually turn the tables, for you and your business. So it's really, really valuable, and this could change, a lifetime thing for it. It could be a great opportunity for the business.
Exactly. That's a powerful way to look at it and, seeing it not just a recovered money, but something that can, continuously fuel growth when they used it intentionally. Thank you, Bimal. Now, can you walk us through the overall process, like from identifying eligibility, to actually receiving the refund?
So the very first step is if you click on the show note below, get my tariff refund, there's a link there. It will help you pre-qualify. And I'll walk you through. As long as you're an importer of record, you click that link and you answer there's only yes or no questions. So, there's like 5 or 6 yes or no questions. You quickly answer those and, you will get an email that you qualify and we need, you will get X amount, or, based on the documents you provide. You'll upload certain documents and then you'll get the next step. So the first step is the pre-qualification. Once you do the pre-qualification, you'll get an email with required documents, which is roughly like a summary query, which confirms entry and export. And so this is called like the importer of record. We need the CBP portal access, which is the custom, portal access. And there are some other, basic documents and data sharing, verification of liquidation status, your banking information to deposit the money, and tax clearance, and making sure as long as you don't have any pending tax liabilities with the government, or you don't have any outstanding, or you haven't filed for a bankruptcy or anything like that in the past, and you're a good business with no major active liens, then you should be okay to get this money in 3 weeks. And let's say, you paid 3 million in tariffs and you get $1.5 million right now. Imagine the what you can do with that money. That is so valuable and so essential. It's not just important, it's essential. So take this money, take it while you can, and then grab it and do what you need to do with your business.
Thank you, Bimal, for breaking that down, that step by step. And now it feels more approachable and less overwhelming for our listeners. Thank you. Now, what are some common misconceptions that business owners have about tariffs and refunds that might be holding them back?
One of the biggest misconception is the same that many people had during the pandemic when many people didn't do the PPP or got stuck and never got anything with the PPP. PPP stands for Paycheck Protection Program, and ERC is the Employee Retention Credit tax credit. I did both of those, and every single client of mine, received the PPP, got the loans forgiven, and the ERC checks as well, because we do it differently. We do it in a very unique fashion and a unique system. So, it's foolproof. Same thing here with the tariff refund. It's foolproof, you get the money. So the main misconception, the main myth I'm not going to get the money. I don't have the time to wait 2 years. This is a, hoax. They talk about this. It's never going to happen. I never received the money when I did the ERC. I didn't get my PPP loan forgiven, so it's not going to happen now. Because maybe you had a bad experience, or you felt that, you heard from someone that they didn't get it, or you didn't try the previous one, or you heard news somewhere from someplace that this happened, then that's what's probably the biggest holdback, and the biggest obstacle is your belief in that this will not happen. But this will happen. We guarantee that, that this in 3 weeks you will get your money, as long as everything from the day we have everything in good order and we're ready to proceed. It's a matter of just boom, transferring the funds and getting it to you. We're not waiting. It's an advance against the future refund. So 50% is coming right into your bank right away.
Thank you, Bimal. And I can really see that how those misconceptions could really create hesitations. So thank you for clearing that up. That makes it easier for people, for our listeners to take the very first step. Thank you. Now, you created a 13 book series. There are specific ones that focus on grants or assessing free funding. Is there any book? And how can
So
our listeners access them?
So first thing is, my business model was funded through grants, and we help businesses scale their 3-year goal in 1 year and get a grant to pay for it. So you will find some text, concept, context, or links or resources or tools related to those in each of the books. And then there's some specific methods and structures. So book 6 go walks out to it, has a table and everything. And then books 1 through 13, like either have some, concept or context on everything. And book number 13, which came out recently, has a great chapter on tech, on grants and all those that you can use. So, but, I'm offering $100 Amazon gift card. So you don't have to think twice on which book to take. Just grab the $100 Amazon gift card. It's free. You don't have to pay anything. It's a gift card. It's a gift. It's $100. So you'd be able to get all the books on Amazon. And then once you get the gift links and use it, those books are yours. And utilize the $100 Amazon gift card to get the books on Amazon and make yourself a pioneer. Hello, pioneers and entrepreneurs. My name is Bimal Shah. I'm on a mission to make pioneers out of entrepreneurs by helping you achieve your 3-year goal in 1 year that is tied to your 25-year vision and 5-year moonshot. I do it through 90-day leaps and weekly sprints and through my own proprietary 4-leap system. I've also written 13 books, the Becoming a Pioneer series. I've founded the Pioneers Academy, the Pioneers platform, and several resources that help you on several different platforms: the Thrive platform, Transform platform, and Transcend platform. So these are resources and tools that I built for you to double your business in a year and scale exponentially and become the only one in your business.